Okay guys, welcome back to the channel. So today I'm going to start a little series and I'm going to go through all of the tools that I've purchased, why I purchased the tool, and then also just kind of give you my insight onto if I use it anymore or if I would buy it again. So today we have the Ryobi P271 18 volt drill and also the Ryobi P51G 5.5 inch circular saw. Now, I purchased both of these as a kit many years ago. My first circular saw came in a Milwaukee 5-piece kit. I was trying to get square cuts, and so I ended up purchasing a Craig rip cut. And anyone familiar with the Craig rip cut, you actually attach your saw by the sole plate here to that tool so that you basically do a ripping cut along a sheet of plywood. I guess being a little bit impatient, I didn't want to actually take the Milwaukee saw off and put it back on. So I wanted to buy an inexpensive saw that I could dedicate to the Craig rip cut. So I went to Home Depot and I was looking for an inexpensive saw that I could use with that rip cut because my goal was to actually, get square cuts. So I came across this little package here which would give me an extra drill because at that time I only owned the 5-piece kit. So this would give me an extra drill in the shop and also an extra saw to use primarily the Ryobi rip cut. So that's the reason why I purchased this, was simply to use it with that rip cut. So I wasn't necessarily looking for depth or anything. Over the years I have not used it that often because as many of you know, I like track saws. I have plenty of them, and basically that Craig rip cut was the first step in the direction of me going after a track saw. Being honest, I mean it's a saw. Per the miter on here, it looks like it bevels all the way up to 50 degrees. So back here is the knob that you would utilize to actually tighten. So like if you wanted to have it all the way up like this, sit on, if you wanted to sit it down, you would actually tighten this knob to leave it in that position. When you unscrew it, then you can drop it down to its deepest cut depth. Let's see if it'll cut just a regular 2x4. So as you can see, I was able to cut through regular 2x lumber with the saw. You can hear that it kind of bogs down. Let's give it another go just to so you really hear the saw. Cut. It is a capable little saw. If you want to do stuff and save on your wallet, you could do that by purchasing a kit like this. So this drill and this saw actually came together. This is the 5.5 inch Ryobi circular saw, and it does have an onboard Allen wrench here for blade change here. This is the button to lock the arbor. You've got your safety button to actually and you can push it left or right to activate it. All right. It's not too heavy. It's decent size. It's maybe not as compact as some saws with this blade size with 5.5, but it does fine. If you're like not doing a whole lot of work, probably would be a perfect saw to have in the shop. This particular saw is able to cut through a 2x4 in one pass. It came with this 18-tooth blade. Yeah, I mean, it's okay. And it also, the kit actually came, I believe, with 2 of these batteries here. You can use this 6-amp-hour battery. Pop it on. Give you a lot more run time. I think it's a saw that you could get if you're on a budget and you're doing smaller jobs, it won't break the budget, because I believe this kit came in definitely under $80. Right here we have the drill, which is the P271, and so I just want to, you know, kind of trial it out a little bit with the regular battery here. Now on this drill, you do have a bit holder, so you can actually take your bits and pop them in there. You also have a magnetic tray here on the front there, so you can, you know, put bits there. It is a plastic chuck. It's a 2-speed drill, and they have a little level back here, so you can kind of tell if you're in level or not. So no problem doing pilot holes. This is on speed 2. Let's go speed 1. And let me put it on the drill function. That might help. So putting it on a drill function, we're in speed 1. Let's go ahead and put it in speed 2. So we got that. All right, so let's give it a run with just driving screws here. So I'll take the drill blade out. Wow, that's hot. And we'll replace it with a star bit. And then here, first I'll take this smaller screw and we'll go ahead and try to just push this in without the preset hole. And look at that, it just split that. It just went right on in. All right, let's pop that out. That works out fine. Drove it right below the surface. And this is on speed 2, so speed 1. And it still drives it below the surface. So, you know, this is on the drill setting, so that's pretty impressive. Now let's go ahead and try a longer screw here. Let's see how it does. And this is with no pilot hole drill. And I was able to drill right on through. No problem, let's pull it out. Alright, so you're going to be obviously setting screws with this. You're going to be drilling holes. As you can see, it can get the job done. So let's give it a try with pocket holes, because maybe if you're doing some DIY, you're going to put in some pocket holes. So let's go ahead and go through that process. Alright, we'll grab our pocket hole jig here. We'll take this piece of wood and move this one out of the way. Lock it down. And let's see how it does. So we're on speed 1 right now. Okay, let's try speed 2. Alright, let's give it a try again. Speed 2. Okay, just requires just a little bit of oomph to it. And remember, this is an 18-volt drill. Okay. So as you can see, we can put the pocket holes in. All right, so now let's go ahead and put the actual pocket hole screw in. So as you can see, this Ryobi drill has all the functions that you would need for, you know, your basic around the house drilling and also DIY. Overall, I mean, just being quite frank, I have moved on to different brands. But I still own, obviously, these tools. Would I buy it again? Honestly, knowing what I know now, and this is not in relationship to the tools themselves, rather it is strictly about the fact that as I've grown in my hobby and I've started to want to do more things, the only reason why I would not purchase these again is because I think I would have bought a more advanced brand from the beginning. Simply because this, even though this is very inexpensive, if I was unsure about the hobby of woodworking or carpentry, then I would buy these and I would use them and I would be fine. I would have no problem. However, or like say if I was doing a project, say around the house, like once a year or once every, you know, maybe 6 months, this right here would be totally fine for me. But as I started to grow in my interest in woodworking and I wanted to do different things, just being honest, for me, the ergonomics, the weight of this, the ergonomics, the balance of this tool is just different. I mean, if I bring in one of my other drills, which this is about this drill, some of them are lighter, some of them are more powerful, some of them have more advanced features than this particular drill. And so as a result of that, I could see myself, if I was my current self, I would not have purchased this, and I would not have purchased this saw. That's not to say that these are bad tools. They're not bad tools. These are excellent beginner tools, excellent occasional hobbyist tools. But I think if you're gonna, you know, really push these and use them all the time, every day, I don't think you'll have a problem at all. If you buy this set and you stick with it and you use it up, maybe it goes through after a while, and you buy another one, I don't think you'll ever have an issue. The only time you'll have an issue is if you buy this tool and then say you buy a brand that people may call more professional and you use both of them back and forth, then that's when I believe that you'll find that there may be some things lacking in these offerings here. But if you compare them to themselves, they're perfectly fine. If you are not someone that's really trying to push forward and basically decide, you know what, I need the best of the best, or I'm trying to become an independent contractor or whatever. It means some people are just happy with, you know, just having, you know, the basics. And these right here, they will get you by. I mean, there's not a whole lot of special features or bells and whistles on these two tools. These are entry-level tools, and for anybody like that's just getting started with trying to build something, I mean, this would probably be an excellent place to start, because you could buy a set like this. This gives you your cuts. This gives you your, you know, you can drill your holes. You can go get an inexpensive pocket hole jig, and then you're off to the races building small things, boxes, whatever you want to do. The sky's the limit. Getting into an entry set like this will put you in a position where it'll help you to know if doing this kind of stuff, you know, hobbies and such like this, it'll let you know if it's for you. So in that way, I would recommend it. If you know that you want to go further, if you know that you want to go deeper, consider this. Consider the fact that the money spent on these tools is money subtracted from better tools. So unless, you know, you want to make mistakes like I've made personally, where, you know, I have a plethora of drills and a plethora of saws because I was always trying, you know, just to get in the door. And then when I wanted the next feature, I had to buy another tool. And at least in my market, the resale value for these particular items is not very high. And as a result, it's just better for me to just kind of keep them around and use it for whatever I want to use it for, whenever I want to use it. But like when I'm trying to learn more refined processes, I lean more to those other tools. So again, this is just a small introduction to a series that I'm going to have where basically I'm going to go over all the tools. I'm using these tools together because they actually came together. Future videos will probably be just the individual tools unless they come together as a set. Anyway guys, thank you for taking time to watch the video, and I'll see you in my next one. Take care.